The most recent platinum I added to my collection was the one for completing the Mean Greens on PS4, which is a sort of toy soldier third-person multiplayer game where you play as either the Greens or the tan toy soldiers as they do battle across various rooms of this house. So you can expect to be fighting in the kitchen, in the living room, in a fish tank, or even in the bathtub. So it's a pretty cool game that's kind of slipped under a lot of people's radars. But enough of that, let's get on with the Should You Plat video, so I can tell you whether you should play it, plat it, or just downright avoid it. That one bullshit PlayStation Platinum unlock. So before we get into all of the trophies and talking about the Platinum journey and whether you should do it or not, I have to warn you that the multiplayer for this game is sadly dead on arrival, because even on launch day, this game just barely has any players online playing it. So if you want to get into a load of really cool matches against human players, you're sadly going to be out of luck with this game. And it is a shame, to be honest, because when I was playing it, I did have fun, but I'd only ever see 1 or 2 humans, and the rest of the slots would be filled with these bots, these AI enemies that were pretty shit, to be honest. But thankfully that doesn't really affect the trophies, as you can unlock most of these in private games. So with that out of the way, let's talk about all the trophies you can unlock on the Fish Tank Frenzy map, as I think it's probably best to just go through each sort of map that you can get a bunch of trophies in. And the first trophy we can get, which would be quite a hard one if you were to do it normally, is the Silver Untouchable trophy, which requires you to grab an enemy flag and bring it all the way back to your base without taking any damage. And like I say, that would be really tough in a normal game if there was a lot of people playing this. But thankfully you can just create a private game and force it to start, even if you're just the only player in the lobby, and then it will just launch the game. And weirdly in this game, a lot of the more different modes that aren't just a deathmatch, there's no actual AI enemies. I don't think they could program the AI to capture flags or do anything other than just running around and shooting. So in all of these extra modes that aren't a deathmatch, you won't actually have any enemies in, but thankfully none of the trophies require enemies in these modes, so it just makes it even easier for you. Because if you had the AI, I'm sure you would get shot. So basically all you need to do is run to the enemy base, grab the flag, and bring it back to your base, and then you would unlock the Silver Untouchable trophy. So that's a nice, easy, and big silver trophy unlocked straight away. Another trophy you can earn on this map is by falling off the bridge and landing and then sinking into the sand in the bottom of the fish tank. So that'll just earn you a nice and easy bronze trophy called Sinking Feeling. So it's just a nice little funny novelty sort of trophy. There's another trophy you'll get in this one if you go straight to this one and finish your first game essentially. So you'll just need to capture the flag 3 times, and as soon as the match ends with you winning, you'll unlock the trophy. But it doesn't matter if you do this normally or whatever, as long as you play a game, win or lose, you will get this trophy unlocked. So again, it's a nice easy bronze to just sort of give you your first taste of multiplayer games. There is also a gold trophy called I'm Gonna Ride It in this map. So you'll notice when the game loads and you see this shot that there's a shark swimming around at the bottom of the fish tank, and he sort of goes around the length of the map. So it's basically you've just got to try and see him and then try and jump off the bridge and land to him. So the trophy makes it like you've got to land on it and stay on his back, but you've just got to jump and hit him really. Like you can see there, I just hit the tail and then flopped off. I thought I fucked it up, but you can actually get it that way. So now I need to warn you about a tedious grind with this map. So one of the trophies for this map requires you to capture 100 flags, and Fish Tank Frenzy is the only map that has a capture the flag mode, so you've just got to do it on this map, and unfortunately you can only capture 3 flags per game. So as soon as you get to 3, the game just ends with you winning. Whatever team gets 3, it will just end. So it does mean that you've got a long grind to get the 100 flags captured. And obviously if you were to do this normally with human enemies playing the game as well, you can imagine this will take you quite a while, because you've got a whole team of you trying to get the flag, and in one game you can only get 3. So it's definitely a good one to just do solo in the private game. So you're probably looking at around, I would say 3 minutes to capture all 3 flags. You can probably do each flag in a minute, so you get 10 minutes on the timer and you'll probably get it all done in around 7 minutes, and you just got to keep repeating that process until you've done 100 and the trophy pops. So now we're going to move on to the Toybox Assault map and all the trophies you can get, or all the trophies I thought were best to get on this map. So the first one you'll get is the silver trophy called Jump Start, which requires you to hurdle, or basically just jump over 5 of the RC cars that are driving around this track without actually getting hit. So again, we just select the map and then force start in a private game, and you'll see there's like a scale-electric track that you can see as you spectate while you spawn in, and you just got to jump over the 2 sets of cars that are driving around. So as soon as you spawn, just run on the scale-electric track. Don't try and jump over the barrier like I did, because you can't actually make it. So just stand on the track and just face forward, and just wait for the blue and red car to come past. You're probably better off just standing in the middle of them, and then just sort of maybe run forward and jump so you have the forward momentum, and just keep repeating this enough times as they come back round on the track. Eventually you'll get the trophy, silver trophy Jump Start, but it's a nice easy one for you to do, and you'll see that it saves your progress every time you do the jump, and every time you get like a kill and things like that, you'll see it's saving your progress. So that's a good thing to know. So the Make Some Music trophy requires you to run up and down all of the xylophone sort of staircases without dying. So there's, I think there's about 12 on the map. And you'll usually get them, there's a set of 2, so you'll have one to go up and one to go back down. It's just a case of running around. I think there's 2 in each spawn, so every enemy's the 2 spawns opposite ends, and then there's a bunch in the middle and maybe some on the sides. But it's a really easy trophy if you're doing it with no one in the room, because you just take your time to run around. Just make sure you don't get hit by the cars when you're doing it, otherwise you will have to start again and go through all the stairs. But it's a really easy one, to be honest, and as soon as you get to the last staircase that you haven't done, you'll unlock a pretty easy silver trophy, to be honest. So there's another trophy in this map called Roadkill, which is a bronze trophy, and this one actually requires you to get hit by the toy cars, and I think it's 20 times. So again, whenever you get hit and your progress is counting towards this trophy, you will see that it's saved, so you'll know that it's counting at that point. So it's just a case of respawning, going back up the track, waiting for the cars to come round and just letting them hit you, and just keep doing that 20 times. I do think you need to do it, I'm not sure actually, I don't think you need to do it all in one game, so you can come back and do this map again, but you're better off just doing it all in the single game, because you've got plenty of time. As soon as you get the last kill, you'll get the Roadkill trophy. So there's another trophy that's not necessarily needed to be done in this map, but I think it was just an easy one for me to do here because it was easy to judge where to aim. So it's called Roadkill, and it requires you to get knocked down to 20% health and then regenerate fully without dying. And you need to do that, I think it was 5 times, but I might be wrong. I didn't quite manage to read it as it was going up. So for me, it was good to just go by these little alphabet blocks here, and then lean up against one, and then look forward, and then aim the crosshair at the tiles. So you can see I'm sort of trying to judge the distance, and then it's just a case of either throwing a grenade and letting that hit you, or using the bazooka and just waiting for that to come off its cooldown and let you use it again. So it will take you a while, this, because you've got to wait ages for the grenade to come back. The bazooka does come back a bit quicker, so it's just a case of doing that. So you just got to line it up, make sure you don't take enough damage to die, but enough damage to do the 20, and just keep repeating it, and then when you do that, you'll get the Survivor trophy. So let's go on to the next map, which is Bathtub Bash, and there is a trophy you can earn on here, which is another easy one that you can get. So you could get this with or without private games, because it just requires you to drown in the bathtub 10 times. It's a nice easy bronze trophy. So again, we're just going to select Bathtub Bash and force a start in a private match. As you can see there, look, there's a big bathtub in the middle of the map. We sort of start off on the shelves at either end of the bath, and it's just a case of just jumping off, making sure you go into the water, sinking down and dying, and then once you respawn, just hurl your little toy soldier guy off the top again and just fall into the water, and just basically repeat that process. You'll see that it saves every time you die, so again, you know that it's counting towards your progress, and once you've done that enough times, the trophy will ding and you've unlocked the trophy for that map. So now we're moving on to the Deep Freeze map and all the trophies we can get associated to this map. So this is a different sort of game mode, and one of the trophies requires you to deal 10,000 worth of damage to the dinosaur in the ice block, which sounds like quite a lot, and I was kind of dreading this trophy because I thought it'd be quite a grind. So basically this is a different sort of game mode where you've got to unfreeze the ice block in the middle, so basically melt it with your flamethrower weapon that you can use, and this will take quite a while. If you were to play this normally, both teams would be attacking this block because you need to get down to the lower level, and at the lower level there's these two coloured ice blocks for each team with a dinosaur in them, and you need to win by unthawing your dinosaur first. So once you've melted that ice block, you can drop down to the lower level, and then it's just a case of melting the green dinosaur if you're the green team with the flamethrower. So when you do this will take quite a while, but I've sped it up with the video, and you'll notice if you look at the scoreboard as you're doing it that you're slowly going up on the dinosaur icon, and you'll probably end up getting about 160 worth of points at this point once you complete a match, and I thought that meant I was doing 160 worth of damage, so I thought this would take a fucking age to do, but I think in the end, by the time the trophy unlocked, I swear I probably only did about 5-6 games back to back of this, so it's not actually that's counting towards the damage. And if you hold down the flamethrower button even after you've melted it and then keep it held down on the scoreboard, you'll do even more, so it's not one that will take you that long. So now we're moving on to the kill count trophies, so we'll have a certain amount of kills to get for each weapon as well as the deaths, and this is where I would give a tedious grind warning for these trophies as they will take you a while. So the easiest one to get would be the kill 100 enemies trophy, because you can just do this with any sort of weapon, and I found the best map to do it on was the team deathmatch version of Barnyard Ball, because it basically just takes place in this giant football table. So as a result, the map is pretty much just a level, straight sort of playing field, and you can see from one end to the other, so it makes it a lot easier because you get kills. So I set this to a team deathmatch because it just made it easier to get kills, because if you have it on a free-for-all, everyone's trying to kill you, and I found that I would die a lot more because the AI can just be really good at times or really shit at other times. So set it to a team deathmatch and just work on whatever weapon kill you want to do, because each weapon has a trophy for getting 100 kills with it. I would strongly advise you to make sure that if you're going for the machine gun, you regularly switch to the rockets and try and throw some grenades and get kills with them, because those two have a large cooldown, so they take a long time for you to be able to use it again, because you only get one grenade and you have to wait for it to recharge before you can use another one. And it's the same with the rocket launcher, so you want to try and mix those in while you're going for every other kill trophy. As soon as you get 100 kills, you will get the trophy for just getting 100 kills, and it can be with any weapon. If you're doing a team deathmatch up, you can probably get a good 70 odd kills throughout the game. So that 100 kills isn't going to take you long. What's going to take you long is going through all the individual weapon trophies. So the best one, the easy one to get with the weapon kills is the assault rifle, because it's your main weapon. It's just a case of running around and using it to shoot, and you'll get a lot of ammo with it before you actually run out. So you'll easily be able to get a load of kills. And I found with this barnyard map, the enemies might start out the game mode quite tough, but after a while, and towards the end of the game, maybe with about 3 minutes or so left on the clock, you'll often find they just stop shooting you. You'll end up just becoming invisible to them, basically, and they will often just run past you or start fighting the other greens on your team. So that just means you can easily get a load of kills right at the end, because you just run up behind them just to slaughter them. You can see it here, I'm not really getting shot there. So that's an easy way to get the kills, and it happens every time you play this map. You'll get those last couple of minutes where you just become a god and you can just easily get kills. So there's another trophy as well for dying, but this is one for dying 100 times, and it's one that you're just bound to get naturally while you're trying to go for all of these other kill trophies. I'd be very surprised if you don't get it by the time you've got all of these kill trophies out of the way. So again, it's just playing it. It's inevitable that you're going to get shot by them. They can kill you quite quickly at times, especially early on in the game. You'll find you just take a few bullets, even if you do the roll or try and jump around, you'll just easily just get shot down. So once you inevitably get to your 100th death, you'll unlock the 100 deaths trophy. Okay, so the next one that's a bit trickier is the gold trophy for 100 sniper rifle kills. Now, the sniper rifle in this is an absolute pain. It's just really awkward to aim and shoot, and enemy AI can actually lure you and then trick you. They'll be running in a straight line, and then as soon as you aim at them, they'll probably end up just randomly turning. So it can be a bit awkward to get kills with this, but that's why I picked this barnyard map, because again, it's a straight line. You haven't got to worry about them being on a hill or a slope or anything like that, so it's a lot easier to aim on that map. So definitely go for those sniper kills on that map. And like I say, once it gets to the end of that mode, the last couple of minutes, you'll often find that the enemy AI just switches off, allowing you to get easier kills. You can literally just run behind them, chase them, and shoot the sniper to get them. So yeah, it's definitely the best map to do this on, because it's just a flat surface. So it's easiest. You've only really then got to aim left and right. So it's just easier to get these kills. And once you do eventually get the 100th kill with the sniper rifle, you will unlock the trophy. But do be prepared to do this a lot to get these play a lot of games to get these kills, because it probably will take you a while to get used to controls. And remember to throw in a couple of grenades and RPG bazooka kills when you go for that. So the next one is the shotgun. So the shotgun, sometimes they will take a lot of bullets, sometimes they can go down in one shot, but you don't have many bullets with this gun to start with, so that's what will cause you a bit of a problem with it, because you'll have to wait for the cooldown. So as soon as you run out of ammo, you can't just pick up any from the map. There's no place to restock on bullets. Enemies don't drop ammo or anything like that. You have to wait for this cooldown, so it takes a while to recharge. So when that happens, when you're going for the shotgun one, make sure you switch to the bazooka, the grenades, maybe throw out some flamethrower as well, because that one can take you a while, because the flamethrower 100 kills is a bit of a pain, because the flamethrower is really weak. You can often find that you're just running up behind people and flaming, but you're not quite reaching it, even though you feel like you're on top. So they'll take a while to die at times. So this is definitely one that you want to do on the barnyard map when you get to the point in the mode where the enemy AI just starts to ignore you, because then you can just run up behind them. Because if you try and attack them with a flamethrower and they're alerted to you, they can just turn around and shoot you before you'll burn them. So that's a good tip there for that one. It's a standard trophy like all the others. It's not that exciting. So there's another trophy that you'll get as you're going through all these kills, and that's just playing 20 games. So whether you're playing Capture the Flag, Deathmatch, all the other weird modes, whether you're playing it actually online or in a private game, whatever you're doing, whatever game, it will just count. And once you get to your 20th game, at the end of it, you will unlock the bronze 20 plays trophy. So we're nearing the end of the kill trophies, but perhaps we're getting to the worst ones now. So the bazooka one at 100 kills, I definitely think is a bit bullshit. It should definitely have been maybe even 50 or 25 because of the cooldown. So as soon as you fire one rocket, that's it, you're out of ammo, and you now have to wait for the cooldown. So you'll see here those segments on that circle, you have to wait for it to recharge, and that takes an age. It's not a quick thing, believe me. So it's also important that you get a dead-on shot with the enemy, because if you slightly miss, the chances are you won't kill them, and that can be really annoying when you've wasted your only shot and you've now got to wait for it to recharge. So again, it's one to do easily, where you just sort of suicide yourself, do it right on top of them, and that generally will get you a kill. And then once you've worked up to 100, you'll get your trophy. So the other really annoying 100 kill trophy is the grenades, because this is absolutely fucking awkward as hell. You only get one grenade like the bazooka, and that means you then have to wait for the cooldown. So I just found it better to just throw your grenade, hope that you kill someone. If you don't and you miss, because you will miss, because they'll either just walk out the way or you'll blow up the grenade on them, but it won't kill them. So the best way to do it is to just die, respawn, you'll get another grenade. I sort of switched this to free-for-all at first on the Barnyard map because I thought having more enemies in there would be easier for me to get kills, but I was finding that it was probably harder because I was either just getting shot or other people were shooting the enemy that I would throw the fucking grenade at. You can pretty much guarantee every time I was about to get a kill with the grenade dead on them, someone else would shoot them, and that kind of meant that I'd play a whole game, maybe a couple of minutes worth of a game, and I'd only end up with about 3 or 4 kills, maybe like 5 or 6 if I was lucky. So I then sort of switched back to the team deathmatch mode and tried to do it on that, and I did have more success with that, I will say. Sometimes I'd get some really cool double kills with the grenades, which I was really chuffed with, but then other times I'd have long stretches where I'd throw it and it wouldn't quite be on top of them enough for them to kill them, meaning I was wasting a lot of time with this. So it's definitely one that you want to try and do when you're doing your other ones, just mixing grenades every now and then. And in the end I ended up boosting it with a friend who also brought this game, so we just went on a map, it could be any map, and I just tended to do a sniper shot into his leg. Then I'd throw my grenade. As soon as I'd throw my grenade, he would shoot me and kill me. So we'd both get progress straight away. We'd then just respawn, go back to the same spot, do that same maneuver again, because if I die, my grenade's still there in the game. It doesn't get wiped out, so it will still blow up. So I can still get my kill as I'm respawning, basically. So it was a quicker way to do it. It's probably the only one, really. Maybe the bazooka one could do with boosting, but mainly the grenades. That's probably the only one that I would suggest trying to boost with a friend. Okay, so now we're back onto a different game map and mode, and that is the kitchen run, and this is the final sort of mode that would be on to get the trophies in the game. So this one, you can't touch this, requires you to make it all the way around to the enemy's cup without getting shot. So you can see why this is a good one to do in a private game, because as it's not a deathmatch mode, the game makers haven't put any AI in there, so you won't have any opponents in this mode. So you're just free to just run in and grab the cup and get the trophy. So basically you'll start off on a shelf and you have to rope slide down and then run around. So don't worry about the oven section with the flames, because the flames can't hurt you. Nothing can hurt you in the environment unless you fall off the edge. So basically as soon as you run round, it's like a U shape on the kitchen. As soon as you run round to where the tan team or the other enemy team cup is and you touch it, you'll get the trophy. So it's a really easy one for you to get there, and it's not really going to give you much trouble. You can also load it in the game again and get the trophy for not sprinting throughout an entire match. So if you just go on the zip line and don't push in the stick to sprint, so make sure you're just running normally. You'll know you're running normally because your arms will be down at the side and your gun will be at the side. When you're sprinting, he sort of has his arm out at a 90-degree angle. So as soon as you push that cup off and you haven't sprinted at all, you'll get the bronze slowpoke trophy. So now I've unfortunately got to give you a tedious grind warning for the last few trophies in the game. So the first one is for playing on the green team 100 times. So that means you have to play and finish 100 games. You can't just start the game and then quit out as you load in. You need to complete the whole game. So the best way to do this is to keep doing the kitchen run game, because this mode you can actually finish a match in around a minute's time. So you just want to spawn in, sprint your ass all the way around to the enemy cup. So in this case it's going to be the tan cup. So just sprint round and then push off the cup, and that will just end the game, and that counts as a match played. And it's the fastest one to do. Doing death matches or any of the other modes like capture flag will take you too long, and this is only the really one that you can get done in a minute. So after you count all the loading in and loading out and the respawn time, you're probably looking at about a minute and a half. But again, it's not that bad. It's just a bit of a boring grind, constantly running around and doing the cup. But I will say, you've probably, if you've stuck to one team where you've gone through all the other trophies at this point, you've probably already done around 40 to 50 games with that team. So really, you've only got to do probably 50 games with the green team before you get the trophy. But just keep going in, keep forcing the start, keep playing it, keep pushing that bloody cup off the edge and winning the match. And eventually, once you've done it enough times, you will find that you've unlocked the green team trophy for getting 100 games with them. It's definitely a tedious trophy, and unfortunately you have to do it again 100 times for the tan team, which is just really bullshit, especially if you're trying to do this normally in just normal gameplay. But thankfully we can just boost it again, so this time we'll start on the right side of the map, and it's just a case of running all the way back around to the green team's cup. So you have to go again through the sink, round past the donuts, through the section on top of the oven, so you don't need to worry about the flames, remember that, and then get to the cup and just push that off, and just keep doing that. It's not very fun, it is a bit of a grind. I would definitely recommend putting Spotify on over the top of it, so you have some music playing. That definitely make it go a bit quicker and just feel a bit more enjoyable to do. But once you've done that, that is pretty much it. Another note I'd like to point out is there's a stats page on the front menu of the game, and you'll often find that this just says 0, but don't worry, your stats are counting. As long as you see it save whenever you kill or play a game, you will get progress towards this trophy, and once you've done all of those, you would have finally unlocked your platinum trophy. So that is the platinum journey in a nutshell for the green means. So all that's left is for me to give my final rating of whether you should play it, plat it, or just downright avoid it. And here we are. Unfortunately, I can only give a big fat avoid it rating for green means, mainly because it is a big grind, and if you're gonna buy this like me because it looked like a really fun multiplayer game to play, and then you get it and you realise that no one is playing this game and you're just stuck with some really annoying bots to play with, it kind of does ruin the experience of the game, to be honest. Thankfully, I wasn't just completely fucked out of getting the trophies, because there are AI enemies that you can put in and you can play on private. So I do respect them for that, because it's still a platinum that's definitely obtainable, even though the online is dead. But it did mean that the game just wasn't as fun, and I probably would have boosted some of the trophies anyway, but I would like to have had the option to play some good games with a whole 2 teams full of enemies, human enemies, but unfortunately you can't really do that because you'll only find 1 or 2 players, and for that reason it's just not worth playing as a platinum trophy, because it is just an annoying and tedious and lonely platinum to get, to be honest. So yeah, it was quite a boringly depressing trophy platinum run to go for, to be honest, but thankfully it only took me a day and a bit, so you're probably only looking at a few hours to get this all knocked out, providing you can get those kills quick enough. But yeah, unfortunately it's a bit of a dud because no one's playing it.